Hello. So, when I did this recording, I had a very brief idea of what I wanted to do. And I I just ended up getting quite excited about what I was doing, and the video turned into a almost 30-minute long rant where I was going backwards and forwards about different aspects of faction building. So what I've done is I'm currently in the process of editing this, and I am going to effectively release out different points and different topics of this 30-minute long video and release them out in one go, or one after another, and then I'm going to release the entire lot of it, unfiltered as it is, at the very end, in case anyone wants to just sit and listen it from start to finish. Just want to prelude this for why my video is built the way it is. Thank you for bearing with me. Hello everyone. Welcome back to the Accounting DM. It's me, Saxius, and what I want to do in this video is I effectively want to show you what I do as a DM behind the scenes, what I do between sessions, and what it is that I work to basically account for all of the various things and the various factions that live and breathe in the world, to basically bring story hooks to my players, but also to throw wrenches into their plans, as well as sometimes just making the world a bit more chaotic. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you the core book that I use for this, and you will see here it is one of the Scene No Mean products. This one specifically is Worlds Without Number, and specifically it is the free version. The thing that you will find on Drive-Thru RPG is that Scene No Mean provides a free version, which, as you can see, it has everything that you would need just to use the book. It has all of the core elements, it has all of the rulings that you need to pick up this system, this rule book, and run it, and you don't pay anything for it. So that's great already from the beginning. And the difference that you'll then find between this version, the free version, as well as the paid version, is that Kevin Crawford then inserts additional chapters which expands and enhance upon your game. They're not necessary, but it is a way for you to then, well, one, support Kevin Crawford in his works, because it is incredible work ethic to do something like this. It's financially, it's taking a risk. And I, for one, would definitely encourage everyone to support him if you decide to pick up any of the products and like it. I've done so, but I just want to show you that you can have the free version to do exactly what I'm doing. Now, as you can see in the bookmarks, we are going to be skipping past everything. You know, we are not going to be looking at anything except for the factions and major projects. And when you're going to come here, there will be walls of text. It will explain to you what a faction is, how you go about it. It's a bit oddly structured at times, but this is the part where, as I always say, read the book cover to cover. And you will find that as you start reading through it, there will be a number of things that will stand out. So here we're going to be going into what a faction is and what makes what creates them, and effectively we are quickly going to be jumping in here, and this is a quick layout for how I structure my factions. Now you're going to have big factions, medium factions, and small factions, which is the exact same of what you will find in here when you go in and you start generating them. It will come through later on, get a bit further down, but let's just go quickly through, because you can see that well, they're gonna have their own stats. They're gonna have, hit points. There's gonna be treasure. Well, we'll get to that in a bit. But before I get too deep into the weeds, I just want to address the big thing here. You're gonna have big factions. You're gonna have medium factions. You're gonna have small factions. And the important thing to differentiate between all of these three is the scale and the scope of what they are going to be representing. A big faction can be anywhere from as big as the Roman Empire to the Mongolian Empire, but it can also be zoomed all the way in, and it could be a duchy. A big faction in the scope of the players is going to be a large overarching organization or group that is a major player within the story. Often what I would say when you are taking a game and you're running it, you would take something like, let's say that the local dukedom or the local area that's being run by an earl or anything of that equivalent. That is going to be considered a big faction because they will have a number of assets and influences that will have an indirect impact to your game. But from experience, I would also recommend having no more than 3 big factions, because these 3 big factions are going to be the 3 powerhouses of your campaign. And if your campaign is going to be set in a relatively specific region, it is important that you frame that region and have the big factions play off each other. They should be at odds one way or another. And then from there, that's going to be a large motivational and backdrop to your game. And then that will influence what goes on from there. Your medium factions is when you start getting down into smaller baronies, when you start getting into a strong guild, an order, whether it's knights or another union of a form. These are going to be the individual groups within the larger factions, and these are going to be the ones that are going to have a more direct impact towards your players. They will be very big compared to your players and what they get up to, but these are going to be the ones that they're going to be engaging with the most. This lot over here, the big factions, are going to be the backdrop, the stories that you hear either from the news tablets, from the criers, or even gossip. Whereas the medium ones, they're going to be the ones that they actually interact with. The merchants guilds, the wizard circles, the thieves cartels. These are the ones that they will most likely be engaging with. And the smaller ones are then going to be the ones that are going to be likely in direct opposition to the others. I often use the smaller groups to represent monstrous factions in fantasy, such as if I have a group of goblins or a federation of goblins that have united. If I have my curators, if they ever make an appearance, they become their own small faction. I will take a druidic circle and I will say, right, you are now a faction, you will now contribute to all of this. You can use them for both being usually in direct conflict with the medium as well as the large factions, but they will often form the more immediate environment around the players. They will have a direct impact for that. Alright, well, thank you for watching. As I said, this is a bit of a work in progress, getting used to how I am building these videos and how I'm going to be basically structuring them. So I'm just making a very clear outro for this. Thank you everyone for watching, and there is more to come just on this topic alone.